How's everybody doing? We finally made it. Case B from a 2022 production, 2025 inspection. If you're not aware, I started a series called MRE for Newbies or MRE for Beginners, and we went through a Case A, every single menu in order for everyone to see that are new to MREs, what every single meal consists of, what it's packaged with, how to deploy it, how to put the components together and enjoy them. We mixed components and I laid out the meals and consumed them and actually gave you my thoughts on them. So today we finally made it to Case B. Case A was truly unique because it actually is an unofficial halal and it is a pork-free case. So Case B is a little different. Let's open this up and get into it. If you're new to MREs, right here, this red sticker is called a TTI sticker. It is a time temperature indicator sticker. If the center dot is dark as the outer ring, that means that this case has been exposed to extreme heat, and there's a good possibility that some of the components inside this case have spoiled or aged rapidly. So let's get a little glimpse of what this case looks like. The outside markings. Now there are 3 companies that make MREs. There's MRE, which are always double bagged inside the bag. There is Sopaco, and there is Warnick. There we go. Warnick and Sopaco do not double bag their MREs. In each case, there are 12 meals. There's a Case A and a Case B. So to have the true full 2 cases, you need a Case A and a Case B. 24 menus. These can be airdropped. They're waterproof. They're very rugged. I mean, they're actually made for military use. So let's pop these bands and let's get into it. Now, I don't know if there's any proper way. Usually these TTI stickers are always on the bottom of the case. So that kind of means that even though that is the top, they place them on the top and then they stack them like this. So if I'm correct, you should open this technically from the bottom because there is a cardboard liner to protect the meals. But sometimes that's not true. Sometimes it's actually the other way around. And yep, same thing with this one. I don't see the fold here, so we're going to stop. We're going to open it up from the top. And these are sometimes pretty tough to open up. So just bear with me. There we go. Oh my goodness. Oh, they went to town on this one with the glue. But we're getting it open. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And you see what I'm saying about the fold for the cardboard? There we go. And this is how they come packaged. There are 12 menus in here. Let's pull this over to the side. And let's get all our menus on the table. Menu 22, beef goulash. Menu 21, tuna, chunked, light, water-packed, lemon pepper. Try to get these in order here. Menu 19, beef patty, jalapeno, pepper jack. I believe they are replacing this menu, so this is a favorite. Menu 23, pizza slices, pepperoni. Menu 24, this is a real good one, Southwest style beef and black beans. Menu 20, Italian sausages with peppers and onions in a marinara sauce. This is a really good one too. Menu 18, beef ravioli in meat sauce. That's another good one. Menu 16, chicken burrito bowl. That's a really good one. Menu 14, Mexican style rice and bean bowl. Another good one. Menu 15, Mexican style chicken stew. That is a really hearty menu. Menu 13, cheese tortellini in tomato sauce. I like that one. That's another good one. And I believe this is a vegetarian. They do usually give you options in these menus. Maybe one or two, actually two per case are vegetarian. So this is our vegetarian option, menu 13. And then pork sausage patty, maple flavored. I'm not sure if the pork sausage patty maple flavor is being replaced or the beef patty jalapeno pepper jack. It's definitely one of them or both. I'm not sure, but I did remember reading on some of the online forums that these two or one of these were definitely being replaced. All right, and that's everything in our case. Let's lay these out. We'll be going through every single one of these menus in order, so we're not cherry picking. We're going to experience every single one of them. I'm going to open these up, plate them up, give you my final thoughts. So if you're new to MREs, you can actually see what comes in each menu. And again, if you're just now finding this series, go back to my playlist, open the #1 menu of Case A, and run through the series. Check out what these are. Some people don't like certain menus. Some people love them. But you can experience these without actually buying them. And with the way things are going these days, I would highly recommend picking them up. If you're unsure where to actually find these, throw me a comment. I'll point you in the right direction. Some of the other reviewers will help you, ask a question and you shall receive. So let's check this out. Our first review in this series will be menu 13, cheese tortellini in tomato sauce. So stand by for the review. And today we have the pleasure of opening our Case B from 2022. I showed all the menus after I unbagged them. The first one up is number 13, cheese tortellini in tomato sauce. This is a vegetarian option. Also, the tuna lemon pepper is also the other vegetarian option, the non-meat. So this is, if you're not aware, this is what's called a Julian date code. It's a 4-digit number. The first digit is the last number of the year, and then the second, third, and fourth digit is the day of the year. So this is from a 2022 case. on the 269th day, 2269. So if you're wondering how do you date these MREs, this is how it is. It's called a Julian date code. So this is produced by AmeriQual. So, yep, right here, AmeriQual Packing, Evansville, Indiana. So let's open it up. For those of you that do not know, this is called a peelable seal. Don't try to peel the bottom one because it is heat shrink closed. So usually if you can grab both of these tabs and kind of work that point out, it will open. There we go. All right, we'll get our menu right there. And this is our menu right here. It is double bagged because it is an AmeriQual. AmeriQual double bags their MREs. Other companies like Sepaco and Warnick, all the items will be loose inside the bag. So we have our first component. It is a cheese tortellini in tomato sauce. 250 calories. One pouch is 227 grams or 8 ounces. It has 38 grams of carbohydrates, 10 grams of protein, and 250 calories. Recovery trail mix with pretzels. 300 calories, 10 grams of protein, 30 grams of carbs. This is a 2.2 ounce package or 62 grams. We have our accessory packet. It has a moist towelette, pack of matches, cinnamon chewing gum, and 20 sheets of toilet paper. We have dry roasted peanuts. 1 ounce, 28 grams, 160 calories, 7 grams of protein, 4 grams of carbs. We have 1.33 ounce or 37.8 grams of regular crackers. These are 170 calories, 4 grams of protein, 28 grams of carbs. This is an electrolyte drink similar to Gatorade. It's in powder form. This is the fill line. The drink pouch is made so you can actually consume it right out of this pouch. This is lemon lime, natural and artificial flavors, carbohydrate electrolyte beverage powder. This is 0.85 ounces or 24 grams. And this will make a half a canteen, which is usually 12 ounces. 90 calories, 0 grams of protein, and 23 grams of carbs. Chocolate peanut butter spread, 1 ounce, 150 calories, 5 grams of protein, 9 grams of carbs. We have our MRE spoon. We have crushed red pepper for the cheese tortellini. And then we have what is called a flameless ration heater. This is called an FRH. This has a special bag that is heat resistant. It has a sodium, magnesium, and iron pouch that reacts when you put about 1 to 2 ounces of water in it. It activates the pad. The pad will get up to 120 degrees for 10 to 15 minutes. That's how we warm up our main and our other components. And there's instructions on this bag. Do not seal this bag up really tight because they can actually burst. They produce hydrogen gas and it is flammable. So do not put a match near this while you're heating your main, and this is actually generating gas. So that's everything. We're going to plate this up and we're going to start getting into it. Stand by. All right, we're back. We plated everything up. Looks fantastic. First thing we're going to start on is getting our main meal warm, because it takes, like I said, about 10 to 15 minutes. There's tear notches on these flameless ration heaters. There's a lower one and there's an upper one. The first one is to open it. The second one is to open, to remove the excess so you can access your pouch a little easier. Just give it a tear. Sometimes they're not cut all the way through, so they're a little problematic to tear open. This is what the flameless ration heater looks like. Has about an ounce of the special metal, salt, iron, and that reacts with the water. So don't get these wet until you're ready to use them. We're going to slide that in halfway. We're going to put our main meal inside the pouch. Slide it all the way down. I usually like centering the pad against the main meal. Get your cardboard sleeve ready. It has these little indentations on the bottom. See? And then what you do is you get your water in there. Now, I really got to say, for people that are new at this, avoid the temptation of trying to stuff everything into this pouch. It will not work. You'll crowd this flameless ration heater and you'll actually have problems warming up your food. If you want to add a couple components to the other side of this, since this side is open, then yeah, you could stuff your peanut butter in there. You could stuff your bread if you have a bread, and then put everything in the pouch. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to put our peanut butter, because that's kind of thick. So 1 to 2 ounces. Doesn't take much. There you go. You can see I actually put a little more. Massage it. Get that pad wet on the bottom. And you just simply put it in your sleeve. And I have a rock or something right here. And we just prop that up like that. And we leave it. Let's get into our recovery trail mix with pretzels. It's actually pretty nice. Don't eat the oxygen absorber. And we're going to put our chocolate peanut spread right on the other side of that heater. We got our dry roasted peanuts. There we go. We got our crackers. Now these usually break when I try ripping them open, so I'm just going to slice them open like that. Same thing with this. And same thing with that. There's our crackers. Nice, they didn't break. We'll get our toilet paper ready. I opened our accessory packet already. There's 20 sheets of toilet paper on here. They're very thin, so use them sparingly. We got our chiclet gum, our matches, and our hand wipe to clean up afterwards. And we have a packet of salt. All right, our lemon lime beverage powder, no fruit juice. Here's a little tear notch right at the top. Open this thing up. Get our canteen here. I got some water left over here, so we're just going to pour that in. And then we're going to pour this. There you go. There's a little Ziploc seal. Make sure there's no powder in it. Fold over the top edge. Roll that over the next edge. Give it a vigorous shake. Open it up and enjoy your carbohydrate beverage. And that's exactly a half a canteen cup. And nothing is in the bottom. It mixed perfectly. All right, let's try out our crackers. Pretty good. They're not salted. These are always a treat. Grab a nice handful here. So we got peanuts, we got almonds, we got cashews, and this is like a non-salted pretzel balls. Let's try our green electrolyte lemon lime drink. That is pretty good. Our peanuts, dry roasted. Kind of redundant that you both get peanuts. So, what do you think of this menu? Do you think you would eat this? Throw it up in the comments, let me know. This nut mix is pretty good. Let's chow down on some of these peanuts. They are dry roasted peanuts. I don't believe they're salted. A little over roasted. They're not very soft. They got a dry, kind of thirst provoking texture, but it's a nice little pocket snack. It got a pretty good amount of protein, got some good oils in it, definitely give you energy for moving around. And they're easily eaten, especially in handfuls. All right, let's finish them up. They go down pretty good. All right, now our next item. This is a trail mix of almonds, peanuts, cashews, and pretzels. They're really good. Great pocket snack. And they're pretty easy to get down. They actually go quite nice with the beverage. And the variety of mix that you get in it is kind of nice. This is kind of thirst provoking. This isn't. Something about having the non-salted pretzels. The almonds are a nice variety in it. And it's a nice balance of flavors. This is a really good menu for kids because unless they have some kind of allergies towards peanuts and tree nuts, this can really go down easily for a child. Or someone who just likes light menus. Maybe even, an older person that's in your family, they're camping with you. Okay, this went down really fast. I'm surprised. All right. Got a little thirst going here. All those nuts and peanuts kind of made me a little thirsty. All right, let's give this a knead up. About halfway through this thing cooking, you want to kind of give the food a knead because it will distribute the heat and get the sauce moving around. It's actually quite warm. Also, kneading it up will kind of reinvigorate that flameless ration heater. I don't know if you can hear it. Yep, that's going nicely. Let's pull out our chocolate peanut spread. Wow, that thing got nice and toasty. Give that a good mixing. All right. Let's get one of our crackers ready because we're going to top our cracker with this stuff. Matter of fact, let's see if we can actually split one of these crackers without really making a mess. Oh, that's a first time. We're going to put one cracker right there. And we're going to slice this open. And we're going to put our spread right on our cracker. Look how liquidy that came out. That's actually pretty nice. Trying to be a little deliberate with how I place this because this stuff can get pretty messy pretty fast. Normally I complain about 1 ounce not being enough, but I think in this case, with this being so watery, I think 1 ounce is perfect. Look at that. We're going to let that set up and sit for a minute because I know as soon as I pick it up, it's going to start oozing everywhere. See? As a matter of fact, probably we're going to regret eating this because as soon as I take a bite, that cracker is going to crack in ways that I didn't anticipate, and most likely you will have a mess. So let's give it a shot. Chocolate peanut butter spread on regular non-salted army crackers. That is really good. Never had that warm, and I never really appreciated it cold. But warm on a cracker, that's perfect. And that is quite thick. All right, last bite. Excuse me, that stuff is thick. That was really good. All right, we're about 15 minutes in here. I think this thing is ready to go. Wow, that thing is hot on the back. Ooh, that is almost too hot to handle. We're gonna let that sit for a minute, kind of finish cooking, and then we'll plate it up. Stand by. All right, we're back. It's about 5 more minutes, and this sounds like this is pretty much tapering down. I'm gonna move some of these items over a little bit so we can actually slide our plate forward. We're gonna use the second tear notch right here to get our meal out. And there we go. I'm going to put it right here because the liquid that is on this, you don't want to get that on your plate. I'm going to wipe it down. It's like a salty sodium chemical coating. You can see there's like a white haze. We're just going to wipe that off. I don't think it's harmful, but who wants to eat it, right? All right, now in the field, you would actually use this tear notch and tear the meal open just like that, and you would actually eat it right out of the pouch. I mean, in the field, you're not gonna have a tray. Let's get that out of the way. And there's our cheese tortellini. And they actually look nice and large. Kind of surprised. Also in the field, you can actually put this retort pouch in boiling water and warm up your main like that. Or on top of an engine block that's not too hot. In a vehicle, you could put them up near the heater vent and then put something over it like a towel or a jacket, and it will actually get piping hot. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. We got a pretty decent amount of cheese tortellini here. I'm going to throw some red pepper on it for some heat. This is 1 gram. Not too much, just a little bit. And I'll save this for later. All right, let's see what we got here. I see some herbs. The tomato sauce is a light tomato sauce. And that's really pleasant. It's a light tomato sauce. It's not acidic. Very easy on the palate. The cheese tortellini are firm. They have a good cheese taste. This actually is pretty good. I like this. This is an easy menu to get down. Not very complicated. All the components kind of work nicely with each other. The the tomato sauce, there's certain spots of the MRE that you could see it didn't really heat up and it's still kind of congealed, but that's okay. It's up to temperature. If they put more tomato sauce in here, it would probably mix a little better. But like I said, for children, for elderly people, this would be a great menu. It's very light. It's easy to eat. If they have teeth problems or they're fussy eaters, This is a great menu. Have some of our beverage. Yeah, this is a good menu. I like this. This goes down easy. Well, I'm actually surprised how fast this went down. All right, let's check out our cinnamon gum. All right, the cinnamon chewing gum has a nice candy shell. It's not too hard. Has a nice cinnamon flavor. The gum will help clean your palate, get the crud out of your teeth, and just give you a little refreshing feel. I'm going to end up finishing this in a little while. It's very filling, very thick. And I'll probably have these crackers with a cup of tea later on. So, let me know what you think about this menu. This is menu number 13. This is a vegetarian option out of Case B, 2022, I believe. Yeah, 2022 production. Our next menu in our series is going to be menu number 14. This is a really good menu. It's a very hearty. If I'm not mistaken, this comes with 2 sides. What they are, I can't think of it right now. I believe it is a Mexican style rice, and then the next pouch is also a bean and kind of chili Southwest mix. So menu number 14, Mexican style rice and bean bowl from AmeriQual. This is a great menu. Look forward to it. I want to say again, thank you for everyone. We're starting our new series on Case B, MRE for newbies. This will walk you through the step. I want to say thank you to all my subscribers. Like, subscribe, share, comment. If you have any questions, I don't care how silly they are, reach out to me. Put a comment in there. If I can help you, I definitely will. Thanks again for joining me if you're still around, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.